Why is it unstable? Why? Hello. I wasn't planning to stream tonight actually. I just thought I'll let you know what's going on in my life, you know, because it's been about a week or maybe 2 weeks that I can't remember. I think it's only been about a week I haven't streamed, to be honest. So basically, I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I got COVID. No, actually, it wasn't 2 weeks ago. When was it? It was about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, I got COVID from somewhere, or you know, and I became really ill. So I took some time off school and everything, and you know, I just stayed home to kind of relax and recuperate, you know, and hope things get better within a week or so. Well, COVID came and COVID went, and I think when COVID actually went, I felt kind of okay, you know. I still had this like annoying cough that I just couldn't shake, and in the last couple of days, I've noticed some sort of pattern. When I'm outside walking and I engage in sort of like a gentle exercise, you know, like I'm walking up the hilltop and stuff like that, I find myself having a shortness of breath, and I'll end up coughing and wheezing and stuff like that, you know. And I thought that's probably me not being fit or something like that along those lines. Recently, as early as like in the last 7 days or so, I've noticed that when I go to sleep at night, that the moment I lie down in bed, I'll be okay for about 10-15 minutes, and then after that I'll start coughing randomly, and I'll keep on coughing until I sit up again, and I find myself just having increasingly more problems trying to sleep, and that's a problem for me, because with inadequate rest, I can't function in the daytime. So I've decided that tomorrow I will get myself down to the clinic. I'm kind of worried about it because I've never been to a clinic in Japan, and the other thing is that I've never really used travel insurance abroad, and I don't know how it works. I don't know, do I pay first and then get the money back later? I don't know how it works. I'm just a bit worried about medical care overseas. So I've kind of been putting it off over and over and over. But now, my inability to sleep properly is a problem, and this ongoing cough I have is also a problem. It's like sometimes I'll cough and there'll be like a weird taste in my throat, kind of metallic, kind of not, I don't taste blood. I just taste something kind of metallic, and it's kind of weird because I've not had anything metallic. So I don't know. It's like my landlord is being kind of worried about me. She every so often she'd be like, Nikita, how are you? Are you okay? How's the cough? You know, and I initially thought it was like reflux or something, and then this week I've been taking lansoprazole pills every morning. You know, like I should be taking them, but they've not had any effect on my cough. You know, so I think it's about time I've kind of like got myself into the hospital and get some checks done. I am kind of worried because I don't think my local hospital, I don't think my local medical clinic, I don't think there's any English speakers there, and my Japanese fluency isn't too good. You know, it's like my Japanese fluency is in terms of asking for medical help. I don't know how to ask for medical help. I just don't. So, and, you know, other people like saying, oh, it's Nikita, it's like you're coughing because you're smoking. Well, I'll tell the truth, right? Ever since I had COVID, I haven't smoked. When I had COVID and I tried to smoke something, the taste was wrong, and that kind of put me off. So it's been about, I'd say it's been about, I mean, like when I say smoke, I mean like actual cigarettes, like the ones you light or lighter, you know, those ones. So I haven't actually smoked cigarettes in a few weeks now, and I feel better for it. And I have my liquid vape, and I haven't vaped that either because I can't seem to handle it right now. Whenever I vape, I just end up coughing. So I think there's something wrong with my lung. Only I didn't really know or understand what was wrong with my lung until the last couple of days. Because I think when you try to lie down and sleep as normal and you end up coughing, only when you lie down I cough, right? I mean, I cough, you know, I cough like occasionally when I'm sitting up, but I definitely notice I cough more when I'm walking up hills and stuff, or, you know, applying a little bit more energy to walking. So yeah, so it's something wrong, yeah. And I went on the internet to Google about it. Some website says you should try some breathing exercise and huff and maybe deep breaths and huffs. And maybe the huffing will bring up whatever fluid is in there. It hasn't helped, to be honest. Some websites say I should like sleep on my side and breathe deeply. I'm having trouble breathing deeply at the moment. It's like when I breathe, if I take a deep breath, I'm fine. Exhaling is something completely different. Right. When I go to exhale, I feel I can exhale like the first 70-80% of exhaling I'm fine, that very last bit of exhaling, the very end of your breath, that's when I can't do it. When I try to exhale, like to empty my lungs completely of oxygen, I get to a point where there's like a little tickling sensation in the bottom of my chest, right? And I start coughing then. And I've never experienced that before. So I don't know. I think there's something wrong. And I can't put it down to anything other than COVID, because I've never had issues before. And you know, I kind of like, I do have like occasional feelings every once in a while where I'm like, you know, maybe if I didn't come to Japan this winter, I wouldn't have COVID and I wouldn't have these kind of problems. You know, it's like, I suppose you could say I'm having some sort of like regret of coming into Japan at the moment because of the kind of ill health I've been encountering. The first week I arrived in Japan, I was like, I was okay the first week. I didn't have any problems. When I got off my plane, and I didn't have any problems. After the first week, I did get flu and had a fever. My fever was like 37.5 or something like that. It wasn't like stupidly high, it was just high. You know, my landlord gave me originally she gave me a COVID test, thinking it might be the worst, right? But the first COVID test came back as negative. So she says to me, I'll get you some Tylenol, Nikita, help you relieve the temperature. So I did take Tylenol for a week, and the fever just disappeared, you know. And I thought at that point I'm fully recovered. I went back to school. About a week later, I came ill again, and I thought, what, did my flu come back? You know, it's like, because I felt really hot. The symptoms were so similar to flu, and the only difference were that when I did a COVID test the second time, it showed up as positive for COVID. And at that point, my landlord just told me, Nikita, you need to rest. So I emailed the school and I told them that I have COVID and here are the pictures and stuff, you know. And they told me to take 10 days off, right? So at that time it was like, you know, it was like, I don't know, 10 days off would be like the Wednesday, go back. Instead of going back on like, take the first week off and take the next few days off in the second week, and then email them again. And I did that. I emailed them, and I spoke to them and stuff, and they told me that, do you have a medical note? I didn't think I need a medical note, to be honest with you. You know, I kind of understand, like, the schools in Japan are like, they're kind of worried about their students like taking too many days off and everything. But you know, I came to Japan, had a goal in mind. So yeah, I don't know who's in my chat right now. I don't know. I don't even know who's in my chat. I have no idea. So over the last couple of days, my sleeping is just getting worse and worse, you know. I find myself waking up in the middle of my sleep, coughing. And I'll cough for ages. I'll end up sitting on my bed, just like wheezing, coughing, and coughing up mucus. Not coloured mucus, just clear and bubbly. And you see, I was taught that if your mucus was yellow or green, then you have an infection or a virus. But clear mucus, I don't know what that is. And when I look on the internet, clear mucus tends to be like reflux kind of stuff, you know. Then I started reading a bit more, and it turns out that clear mucus can also be caused by fluid in your lung, especially when you're coughing in, like, especially when you start coughing lying down, you know, because the fluids in your lung go towards the valves and stuff where you breathe out, and then they start causing problems there. And I thought, well, that does make sense, because when I lie down, I don't really use many pillows when I lie down. I sleep on a fairly flat surface, right? I just find myself having a few problems when I'm lying down, you know. Initially, when I first lie down, I get into bed and get myself comfortable, I'm fine. After around about 10 minutes or so, after I've like got comfortable, you know, took the duvet like around my neck and everything, and got really comfortable about to fall asleep, then I start coughing. I feel like the top of my chest or the bottom of my throat, it just tickles. Then I start coughing. And it's not just like one or two cough, it's like cough and your diaphragm would be like kind of vibrating kind of cough. So I decided that tomorrow I think it's about time I've got myself into a hospital and get checked. The problem I've got is that I was supposed to go to Comic-Con on Saturday of next week, or this week, but I don't know, can I make it or not? I'd like to go because it's my first time, I've never been before, and I'm not going with other people. I mean, there are other streamers going, but I'm not going with them. I'm going with myself. I'm just going to wander around. I mean, the initial plan was to wander around Comic-Con and explore the whole complex, you know, because from my knowledge, there's like cosplay stuff on the roof, other events inside the building, and also stuff outside the building. I don't know. I don't know, will I be live streaming or filming the event, or maybe a bit of both. Anyway, the initial plan was to go to Comic-Con on Saturday, but I mean that was like before any breathing problem popped up. Now I'm not so sure what's going on next week. I'm hoping that when I go to medical clinic tomorrow, I'm hoping that a doctor will say to me, "Hey Nikita, we know exactly what's wrong with you. you kind of, you've had COVID and you developed kind of like fluid in your lung, and we suggest that you to get some antibiotics, and here's a script for it, you know, and go to the pharmacy and get the drugs for it. That would be the best outcome, right? But I don't know. I am nervous about going to the clinic. I mean, if I went to the clinic in my own country, I wouldn't be nervous about it, because the medical bills and that would be paid for. But going to the clinic in Japan, see, it's like if I was a student here with a student visa, I would have medical insurance, a Japanese medical insurance. But being a tourist in the country, I do have travel insurance. I've never claimed on it. I don't know how to claim on it. So I'm kind of worried, you know. I mean, obviously my health is more important than the amount of money I may or may not spend on getting healthcare done. The problem is that I don't know how expensive it might be. I mean, like, it could be like something like Neiman Yen or something, or it could be a lot more, right? I just don't know. People tell me that healthcare in Japan is fairly cheap and affordable, but this is coming from Japanese people with health insurance, you know. I kind of like, I just, see, I tried to speak to my insurance company in the UK about it, and they asked me, is it a pre-existing condition? I says no, because when I left the UK I didn't have any problems. I got COVID, and after I got COVID I'm having problems breathing, you know. So it's not a pre-existing problem. I don't know. I'm just worried about it, and I just thought I'd come online and tell you guys why I haven't been streaming for the last couple of days. Admittedly, I haven't told you guys on Kick, and I've only told people on Twitch, you know, but it's okay, because I think the viewers on Twitch will probably tell the people that Nikita's ill, or Nikita's recovering from being ill, or something like that, you know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. The title of the stream is just wrong. I mean, on the whole, I don't feel like there's any problems. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm ill. You know, I don't feel like I'm suffering from anything other than having like, you see, it's like when I'm out in the day, not live on Kick. No, I'm not live on Kick. I have disabled Kick deliberately. Hey Hexolo, how you doing? I don't know how much have you heard so far. I don't know how long you've been in chat. I know there's lurkers in my chat, and I can see Boone in my chat, but he hasn't said nothing. I don't know. Maybe they're just lurking. I heard the last 2 minutes. So basically, a couple of weeks ago I got COVID, you know, and I took some time off to recover, right? And I thought I see a lot of people who've got COVID, they just had like a fever and stuff, and you know, and lost their taste and stuff like that, and that was it. And I kind of felt like that. I had a weird, during my COVID, I had a fever. My smell and taste were like a bit fucked up. I couldn't smell anything, and my taste was like everything was just salty. Everything I eat, tea, Pepsi, anything, it was just salty. I couldn't taste anything other than salt. And I thought, okay, that's probably just some symptoms of COVID, right? After about a week or so, when COVID finally disappeared, I regained my smell and taste, and food tasted brilliant. Honestly, when you lose your sense of taste, then you go back to eating food, and then you start tasting things that you not noticed before, or you've taken it for granted, you know. Yeah, so when COVID went away, I got left with this cough. Now, I read things online that people with COVID, they sometimes end up with having a cough. And I thought, okay, maybe the cough will go away after a week. Well, it's been like 2 weeks now. Since I've had COVID, it's been about 2 weeks now. And I went streaming last week, you know. Went outside streaming, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. No, it wasn't, it was Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, I was streaming on, I'm not entirely sure the day, right? I think it was definitely the weekend. Wasn't sure was it a Saturday or Sunday, but it was the weekend. Hi, I was lurking a while, preparing food, get well soon. So when I recovered from COVID, I thought everything was gone back to normal, right? Honestly, that's what I thought, you know. But when I walked up the stairs outside my train station, I was just completely out of breath at the top. I just felt it just took me a lot longer to catch my breath, and I ended up coughing a while. And I thought that was just normal, you know. I just thought that was me recovering, right? And it'll go away after a week or so. But it hasn't gone away. What I have noticed is that I'm coughing a little bit more. And I constantly have mucus in my system. And I never really had like, you see, when I say I have mucus, it's like, normally mucus has like kind of a salty taste. This doesn't. This has a kind of a metallic taste to it. But when I spit it out, it's not red, and it doesn't have any blood in it. But I am worried though, because I don't want to go to the point where I'm spitting blood, because that means it's gone a bit too far, right? So I want to get to the hospital tomorrow, get some checks done. Hopefully the clinic will get me a translator, and we can talk about the problem I'm having. Arufa can't do it because he's working, and also I think he might be worried that he might catch something, because like I think all my streaming friends, they kind of been avoiding me recently, and I think I know why. It's because I've been ill. They're worried that they might catch something from me, and I completely understand. I completely understand. Because I wouldn't want them to catch anything that I had in the last couple of days either, or the last couple of months. So it's kind of good that, I mean, the thing is, I'm living with a family here in my house here, right? But they haven't caught anything. You know, we've been sitting in the same room, chatting and drinking and stuff like that, and they haven't caught anything from me. So whatever I have at the moment is not contagious, because they haven't caught anything. However, just because they haven't caught anything, it doesn't mean that other people can't catch something, because like different people may or may not have strong, I mean, some people have really strong immune systems, you know, and some people have compromised immune systems, and I don't know, am I contagious? I mean, the last COVID test I did, it was negative, right? And so unless COVID came back and bit me a second time, I don't think it's COVID anymore. I think this is the remaining, I think this is from the damage that COVID did when I had it. And I'm kind of like struggling to are you guys in an ad right now? Twitch is telling me there's an ad. Let me know if there's an ad. Okay, just let me know if there's ads, right? Because Twitch has this habit of throwing ads up randomly. So I find myself struggling to breathe a little bit. If I sit here upright with like with good posture and everything, I breathe quite easily. When I sit on my chair and slouch in it, however, I end up like coughing from time to time, and if I speak too much, like just talking, you know, I kind of have I find myself fighting for air between talking and breathing. I mean, normally you shouldn't be fighting for air when you're talking. So I think there is a lung problem. I know that many of you guys are not on my Discord, so that's why I decided to come over and make a video. Lung infection maybe. I don't know, it could be fluid in the lung, right? I mean, lung infection, fluid in the lung, both of them are viable. I don't know. Can I get away with taking antibiotics for a week? I don't know. I just been reading on the internet, and it's like, I mean, John Hopkins Hospital tells me that if you experience these kind of, if you experience anything like this, then the sooner you get medical care, the better. So, yeah, I think I've like, I don't want to be, because like apparently if I don't get it treated, it can get to a point where I get pneumonia, like full on pneumonia, and I don't want to get to that point, because at the moment it's just a cough. I don't have a fever or anything, it's just a cough, but the cough is it's definitely annoying me, because the moment I lie down on my bed and try to, it's like when I sleep quite flat. I don't tend to use a pillow, or my pillow is very, very thin. After about 5-10 minutes of lying down, I start coughing. You have Google Translate on your phone, right, for the hospital. So the hospital has proper translators with people on the phones. Because I was looking at their website. You see, the thing is, some clinics around Tokyo have English-speaking doctors, right? And some clinics don't. And for the clinics that don't, they have translators on the phone where you can talk to them and they translate the problem back to the doctor, right? You know, in English. Or in Japanese, as it were. So I think that's a better solution. Because like, if you get one of your friends to do it for you, there's two things can happen, right? Your friend may worry about catching something you may have, and also they are also working, and well, the third thing is that is their translation accurate, you know? Whereas hospital translations, I think they would be I think they have to be accurate. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, I find out. It's like my landlord has given me like loads of medication to take. She's like, I'll get you some paracetamols, Nikita. And she got me Tylenols originally, like 250 mils, Japanese dose. But in order because I'm used to taking Western dose, so Japanese dose is 250 mils, right? Yeah, which is half the dose of what I normally take in England. So instead of taking one pill, I take two. So effectively, I'm taking what is a standard dose for me. You know, it's like some people might say to me, Nikita, you're in Japan right now. You know, you should take every opportunity to go outside and create content. It's true. Normally I would, you know. I mean, like when I was here last time, I was outside more days than I was inside. But recently I'm ill. I know people like saying, oh, it's just COVID. It's just COVID if nothing else happens to you, right? But if you get COVID and you have complications, then it's not just COVID anymore. It becomes something a lot more worse than COVID. And, alright. Just wait for the ad to go by. Okay, you guys back from the ad? You see, I understand that when I'm ill, I shouldn't be making content because I can't put all my energy into it. But the problem is that not everybody is in my Discord. So, and I feel that there's more of my regular viewers on Twitch than there is on Kick. So this is the reason why I'm streaming to Twitch right now. So yeah, I haven't. I mean, usually I would usually I would like go out and make content because it's not every month I'm in Japan. You know, I'm only in Japan for a very short period, and I should ideally take full advantage of it and just go out streaming every single day. Ideally, that's the ideal situation. But when you're ill, you're ill, and when you're not feeling at 100%, then you should take some time out to recover and stuff. But unfortunately, there are many other content creators and friends in Japan who are not on your Discord. They don't read the updates I post on Discord because they're not there. So I figured that making a video or coming to do a live stream, they can find out for themselves if they watch the video of why is Nikita not streaming, you know. I don't want this stream to be super long. I just want it to be short and just kind of explain what's going on and how I've been feeling and stuff, you know. I mean, over the last couple of days, I did initially wanted to go out on Saturday to do some streaming, but I just couldn't. My sleep schedule, because I'm having trouble breathing and sleeping properly, it's just I'm waking up all over the place. I'll fall asleep. I'll go to bed and I'll start coughing. Then I'll sit up on the edge of my bed, trying to clear my lungs. And then once I clear my lungs and I feel fine, I'll get back into bed again and lie down. Eventually I'll drift off to sleep, right? But after about 3 or 4 hours, I'll wake up again and I'll be coughing. And I just find myself in a repeating motion of sleeping for a few hours, getting up on the edge of my bed and coughing my guts up, having kind of like really nervous and stuff, and getting back to sleep again. And because my sleep has not been consistent for because normally I only sleep for 5 hours a night, but recently my sleep has just been broken. Like, I'll sleep for 2 hours and I'll wake up, or I'll sleep for 2 to 3 hours and I'll wake up coughing, and then because I've been like waking up coughing and go back to sleep again, my sleep has been interrupted. Whose everyday's life in Japan? See, this is what happens when you come into my chat late, alright? You miss out on the conversation, so you have to go back on and watch the VOD to find out what I'm talking about. Go get a check up, fam. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to get a checkup tomorrow or in the morning. It's just, I just don't feel 100% right now. I mean, COVID only lasted a week, right? But I spoke to other people who had COVID, and a lot of them just said, I had a fever, and that was it, you know. And I said, and they said that COVID didn't affect their taste buds and stuff like that. And I thought COVID, modern COVID, like we get nowadays, is just a flu-like thing, you know. I don't know where I got COVID from. I don't know. I know. I don't think I got it from school, right? I don't think I got it from school because I think I got ill when I went to that fetish night at the beginning of the month, because prior to that I was fine, right? And then after that weekend I was ill. So I think going to, I mean, that I was really happy of going to the fetish event and everything because I wanted to experience something, right? But somebody who went to the fetish event was probably kind of dishonest about their health, you know. Maybe they knew they had COVID and chose not to isolate. I mean, it's not mandatory to isolate in Japan, but you know, you'd probably, you know, like, I kind of think that if you're a selfish person and you get COVID and you just go outside in the world and don't give a shit and spread it around, then that happens, isn't it? Because you're kind of a bit of a selfish person, yeah. But if you're a mindful person, you get ill, then you probably take some time out, you know. Stay home, yeah. Stay home. Stay in your hotel. Just spend a few days recovering, right? COVID monkers. I remember the first wave I got it, I thought, I'm not going to survive. Make a stupid video for a girl stream I simped for. See, I didn't really, I'm not making this video for content, as it were. This video is meant to be informative to all the people who may or may not watch my stream, you know. Maybe the people who may come across my stream will see this video and like, why is Nikita not streaming? Click and check it out, you know. You know, one of them things, right? COVIDmon, Pokimane. How dare you say Pokimane in my stream? She's a bitch. If Pokimane came to Japan, right, and it had an open party to invite everybody to it, I would not go. I would just not go. She's not worth my time. She's just not worth my time. I mean, like, she was in Japan a couple of weeks ago. I think her name is Emiru, like, from Texas. So there were all the big a couple of the big streamers were in Tokyo a couple of weeks ago. And if any of you guys are in Tazo's Discord, then you'd know that I worked out where they were and everything, right? And I said, like, hey Tazo, why don't you wake up early and go snipe them? Because, like, look, I've done all the background work for you. I worked out where they are, where the hotels are and everything, you know. And he didn't, he just stayed in bed and fucked everything, you know. I don't like that guy either. I mean, there's so many, you see, I think when you meet him in person, he's kind of an okay guy, right? It's just that he doesn't have a personality. It's like, he just doesn't have a personality. What can I say? He's like, he's not colourful. He's like a monotone voice, and he doesn't do anything. he pretends to do something and it's not interesting, and then he doesn't really read chat and stuff, right? He just talks and talks and talks and assumes chat will just react to it, and that's it, you know. And I used to watch him when he was on Twitch, and when he's moved to Kick, I noticed he's changed a bit. He's I mean, like, when he was on Twitch before, he seemed a lot more relaxed and a lot more friendly and interactive with his chat. But ever since he's moved to Kick, he seems a lot more dull, right? He's not so much open about his life and I mean, like, he is open about his life and stuff, right? But there's lots of things that he's changed on, and there's lots of things he doesn't talk about anymore. It's been a troll annoying its personality. What? It's been a troll and annoying its personality. He whines and whines and whines, haha, to ignore his chat because his new Kick chat is so toxic. Well, you choose the platform, right? You choose the platform, and then you know, at the end of the day, if you don't like the viewers on the platform, go back to Twitch, right? Or just get your mods to sort them all out, you know? That's what I do. It's like, I tell my mods and says, hey, if anybody does this in my chat, time them out, block them, do your shit, yeah? But I guess at the end of the day, a lot of streamers go to Kick for one reason and one reason only, to make money. And because, like, we don't know, as a creator, we don't know how long Kick will be here, right? We don't know. We don't know how Kick might be this opportunity. It may last 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, maybe 4. Nobody knows, right? But it's an opportunity to make some money while you can. So a lot of streamers kind of pour onto the platform and do content on there, hoping to make it big and make money, you know. And if you're lucky, they do make money. And if you're unlucky, you lose your account and get banned, you know. So, and see, I don't think I'm that kind of content creator where I'll get big or make money, you know. But I like to stream and I like to have a bit of fun, you know. And I kind of enjoy talking to you guys and listening to you guys, and I kind of think it's kind of funny when you moan at other streamers and stuff. And you know, I try to kind of like, I don't want, you see, the thing is, Tazo, he's kind of a friend, right? Okay, maybe friend is not the right word. Tazo is more of an associate. We know each other, but we're not friends. We don't, the difference between friends, I tell you what my idea of friends are, right? A friend is somebody who will say, hey, Nikita, do you want to go out and do this? Or do you want to go out and do that? You know, they will invite you to things. That's what a friend is. And you have and being a friend of that person, you can say, well, actually, can I do a rain check because I want to do something else? And then your friend would be like, they won't get offended for it. They would just, they'd be okay. They'd be okay with it, right? That's what I see as a friend. And a friend is also somebody who've been in your life for a while, and over the period of time you get, you know, you come to trust one another. That's what I see as friends. Darius says, are we friends? Not on that level, you're not. Because my friendship levels, in order to be a friend and start building a friendship, you have to first meet me, right? And if you don't meet me ever, then you're more of a associate, or some like you're on associate level, and a lot of streamers I meet, it's like if I meet a streamer randomly, that doesn't make us friends. The first time we meet them, that they still stay on associate level. That means for me it's like, oh, I've met him. I says hi to him. He knows me in person. But the friend thing takes time, right? Friends in real life, just because you meet someone in the street, they don't become your friend. Ever. It doesn't work that way. It's like, I meet Japanese people on the street constantly. They don't become my friends. Yeah? They become viewers, mostly. And those people who do become my friends, they kind of get my contact details. We kind of talk to each other, we talk to each other through messages. There'd be like outgoing messages and incoming messages, you know. So my friendship levels always start from the first time we meet. And if there's no like ongoing meetings between two people, it's like I assume that we're not really friends, but we're associates. I'm sorry you feel that way, Darius. It's just the way I've... See, the thing is, it's very difficult to make friends with people on the internet that you don't meet, right? Especially people who don't even give you their first name. It's like... I think a lot of people like... I don't want to give my first name out because they have... I want my privacy, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, and there's also a trust thing, yeah. There's a trust thing. It's like, when people message me in DMs, I don't talk about what we talk about in DMs. For me, when people tell me their names in DMs, their dislikes and likes and stuff like that, anything they talk about in DMs is private. It's confidential. It's between me and that person. That's how I work, right? Because I think when people message you in DMs, there is an element of trust, yeah. But you know, I think for some people, it's like Darius is like saying to him, are we friends? No, we're not friends. We're not friends on that kind of level yet. Mainly because we haven't met. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you look like. I don't know anything about you. All I know about you, Darius, is that your name is... You call yourself Darius. You're from Switzerland, right? And you've been in Japan for a while. That's all I know about you, okay? I don't know anything else about you. I don't know what you look like. I don't know what you actually do for living. I don't even know your first name. You know? But like the difference between me and say Arufa and James and stuff and people, right? We're on a first name basis. You know? It's like we met a few times, we talked to each other, we have a bit of fun together. I mean, nothing sexual, just regular fun, you know. But when we talk to each other, it's on a first name basis, so that makes it a little bit different. What did you say? Alpha. Arufa's first name is Arufa and his surname's Plus. It's not. That's what you like to believe. I mean, Tazo, I think I met Tazo twice. Both time he sniped me. But Tazo and I, we may have met briefly, but we haven't done anything together. We haven't gone for donuts. We haven't gone for coffee. He hasn't. Well, actually, no. The only thing Tazo's done. The first time I met Tazo was in Shibuya, and he bought me a bottle of Korean soju. Actually, it wasn't him who bought it. It was his girlfriend bought me a bottle of Korean soju. You know, because like she was out that day with Tazo, and I didn't know what it was, so I asked Tazo. I says, "Tazo, what's this?" And it says it's Korean soju. It's tasty. Have you tried it? I said, "It's drink it. It's nice." You know, that was like the first time I really spoke to Tazo, and then ever since then it's just like sniping. You know, but we haven't met and done anything together as a friend. We haven't. See, there's lots of streamers I meet in Japan. Yeah. I would consider Hyap more of a friend than Tazo. Yeah. Because like we spent time together, me and Hyap. He always takes the piss out of me, and it's okay. Because like, I figured he's a friend and it's okay. Friends have that right, you know. It's like, it's just like, for me, friendships always start from the day you meet each other. When the day you meet each other and spend a bit of time with each other, that's when the friendship starts. And you don't become proper friends until like several visits down the road, right? Bruh, not poor. Dude, it's awful. What? He's not joking when he mocks you. I don't take it seriously, right, when he mocks me, you know, because like he doesn't. It's just the way he says it, you know. It's just the way he says it, and he says it once. He doesn't say it. See, the thing is, he doesn't say it over and over and over again. Yeah, he says it like once, and then, and when he realizes it has no effect on me, he stops. You know, I'm alright with the associate title, but regardless of what my first name is, I think I've been providing you with lots of sound advice regarding studying, living in Japan. Whether or not you follow them is not important to me, in my opinion. I think when it comes to online stuff, right, I think I really appreciate that you give me advice, Darius. I do, yeah. But a lot of people give people advice on the internet. You know, you don't have to be a friend to give advice. I mean, like, Boom comes into my chat. I don't know him. He just comes into my chat, and he's been in my chat for a while, and you know, he gives me advice from time to time. So does Solo, right? I mean, I suppose when people come to my chat and stuff, like being a regular viewer, that is a type of friendship, but it's not the same type of friendship that I'm talking about. You know, there's lots of types of friendship, right? And I think all too often the word friend is thrown about too often. You know. I just don't. It's like, you know, it's just the way it's just the way my brain works. Yeah. If I ever go to Fukuoka and me and Darius meet, you know, and go for a burger and talk about shit, I think that'll probably be the day where the friendship starts. You know, it takes time. I just, you see, the thing is, right? I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I've had lots of experiences in my life, and I just know that a lot of people say, "Hey, we're friends now. We're friends now. We're friends now." The word friends is just thrown around so often, and it just doesn't work for me. There's like, you can be friends with somebody, but not be friends. You know, it's like, for example, when you watch the television sitcom Friends, the people in the six people in the apartments, right? I mean, like, initially they were kind of strangers, right? But gradually they get to know each other. They have fun together, and they do things together. They may have like occasions where they stab each other in the back and kind of like do stuff behind each other. That's kind of part of friendship, you know. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, friends take time to build, right? Or shall I say, friendships take time to build. So when people say, "Are we friends?" No. If you never met me, right? If you never met me and spent more than 5 minutes with me, we're not friends. We're not on that level of friendship. We may be acquaintances, we may be associates, and we can be friendly to each other, but we're not friends. Do you know what I mean? I suppose there's lots of different there's lots of, I think everybody has their own ideas of what friendship is and what is considered a friend. See, some people, they're like, "Oh, I do something for you, then I owe you a favour." That's not how friendship works. That does not taste good. Yeah. When I start coughing, there is a weird taste in my throat. A weird taste. I don't know what the taste is. It's kind of metallic. And the only thing in our body that's kind of metallic is blood, right? So is the blood coming out from my lung? I don't know. There's no blood in my sputum, but there is a funny taste in the back of my throat, and it's not normal. Weird metallic taste, sounds like flu or COVID. I don't know if you saw my message earlier, but go to the hospital as early as possible in the morning, because there would be lots of people waiting. The blood taste can come from irritation of the throat too. I haven't smoked anything. I haven't smoked. I haven't vaped. I haven't. I've just kind of like. I've been like, more so the last couple of days. Yeah, it's just clear. It's just like very bubbly and clear. There's no blood in it, but there's a metallic taste at the back of my throat. So that's very true, Darius. I mean, you know what, Darius? You've given me lots of good advice since I've been in Japan. Actually, you've been giving me lots of good advice ever since you came into my life. Yeah. And I would love to meet you. I would. I feel that, I think in real life, you'd probably be the same person as you are in my chat. It's just nice to put a face and a name to the person. Maybe we become friends that way, you know. I do, there's lots of people in my chat that I want to meet. I would like to meet Sentinel. I've never met Sentinel. I've spoken to him like in voice chat a couple of times, and I know what he sounds like. I have no idea what he looks like. Oh yeah, I'm the same asshole in real life. Lols. I don't know. But you know, you seem the way you talk to me and everything, like the way you talk to me in my chat, in my DMs, in my Discord, they're very consistent. That's what I can say. They're very consistent. I don't know I don't know what you look like in person. I imagine that you probably have blonde hair, blue eyes. Maybe. I don't know. It's a stereotype, you know. And I imagine that you're quite tall as well. I don't know what your build is like, your physique. I don't know. I'm like, it's like I'm thinking to myself, he's probably quite tall. Maybe blonde or blondish. I don't know. Blue eyes, green eyes, something like that. But to me, it's not about your features. I want a face, you know. $185. See, I was kind of like, yeah, he's tall, but I wasn't expecting to be like 185 tall. 185 tall is quite tall. Athletic. know, and I'm rocking a short beard. Okay. I still like to see the person. I like to see the person I put a face on you, you know? Because, like, I don't know, it's just, I mean, like, I like to meet people, not necessarily on stream, yeah? Sometimes, you know, you have a choice, you know? If I ever met you one day and we ever arranged to have a meeting, you have a choice. You can say, I don't mind meeting you as long as it's off stream. And I would, I would, like, honour that, you know? Because it's your privacy. You have a right to it. But right now I need to look after my health first. Well, if we are ever in Fukuoka at the same time, why not? It doesn't have to be Fukuoka. It could be Switzerland. You know, I've never been to Switzerland either, you know. And I don't think I can afford Switzerland, but I think the cost of, like, going to Switzerland is probably, and staying in Switzerland for a couple of days is probably the same as coming to Japan and renting an apartment for a month, I imagine. I don't know. I mean, at this time in moment, I need to think about my health first. I need to prioritize and put my health first. You know, I mean, when I came to Japan, initially I said to chat, I says, look, I want to put my education first, and then streaming second. But then I started becoming ill, and those priorities kind of changed. When I say the priorities kind of changed, it's like my health became number one, and when the school told me that I can't get the certificate that I want, school became number three, and content making became number two. Do you know what I mean? Because I came to Japan with a very, very particular goal in mind, you know, a very, very specific goal. I wanted that piece of paper. That's the only thing I wanted. How I go about getting that piece of paper is completely different, you know. You should be in bed right now. Too true. Too true. I'm just going to mute you a sec. Gotta go push a log and then take a shower. Let's talk tomorrow. Alright. Yeah. I think Darius is right. I should get to bed. It's great that you guys came, and just hearing me talk about, just give you a health update. And regarding school, I haven't been to school. Ever since I had COVID, I haven't been to school because the first month of my illnesses and everything kind of caused two problems. It's made my absent days a bit too much, and also it's put me behind so far that it's going to be difficult for me to go to. If I went to class, I think it'd be a little bit difficult to follow on, because everybody else in my class has gone. You know, they've become like quite advanced, right? And they've got certain vocabulary that I don't have, and maybe certain verbs and stuff that I don't have. So I've kind of put my studies on hold. I've kind of decided to do some self-studying, you know. It's like, for you guys that are interested in my studying, please just come into my Discord, right? Because like we talk more about my study stuff on the Discord. Excuse me, I have to burp. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to put my health first, chat. As soon as I get on top of my health and I feel a bit better, where I can walk up a hill without dying, I will start making content then. It's not. I didn't plan my Japan trip this way. I kind of planned my but originally my Japan plan was like go to school and stream at night, you know, and do homework when I get back from home. That was my plan. That would be the ideal situation, right? But it just didn't work out that way. I didn't put into account that I may fall ill. I might get ill from other people. I don't know. Anyway, guys. Good night. I'll update you. I'll go to the once I've gone to the hospital and get myself checked out and everything, and get some results back. I'll update you then. I would like to go to Comic-Con on Saturday. I would like to. I just don't know, can I? If I can't, then I will give my ticket to somebody. Good night. Hope everything goes well. Thanks very much, Boom. I hope so too. I kind of like hope that the doctor just give me some antibiotics. You know, some antibiotics that will sort it out, because I don't. Other than my lung problem, my cough, because I honestly think my cough has more to do with my lung than anything else, right? I think the fluids in my lung are irritating my throat, and that's making me cough. Because I don't have a runny nose, right? I don't feel like I'm ill. I don't feel like I have a cough, like a cold, a cough. Like, I don't feel like I have a cold. You know what? You know, when you have a cold, you have a runny nose and everything. I don't feel like I have that. I just feel like I'm not. There's just something not right, and it seems to, every time I go to sleep and lie down, that triggers it. Or when I do something strenuous and require more oxygen, that triggers it. So I think something wrong with my lung. I don't think my lung is damaged. I just think there's fluid in my lung, and that's kind of limiting my ability to sleep horizontally, you know. Could be airway irritated by acid reflux. That's the thing, right? I have medication for acid reflux here. This is what I take for acid reflux, and I've been taking this every day for the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't done anything. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped the coughing symptom. It hasn't stopped the amount of sputum I have. So I don't think it's reflux, because if you Google this medication, it's called lansoprazole. This is for acid reflux. It is for good. So the treatment of this is like you take 1 or 2 boxes over a course of like 2 to 3 months, and it reverses GERD. It stops you from getting it, but it hasn't worked for me anyway. So it's not acid reflux. And also in Japan, I haven't really eaten loads and loads of food that triggers acid reflux. You know, typically the type of stuff that triggers acid reflux for me is food that contains lots of acid, like sour stuff, certain types of fried food. Like, I find McDonald's and stuff doesn't trigger my acid reflux. Maybe because McDonald's is more grilled than fried, right? Deep fried food tends to trigger it more. Like, things with like copious amounts of oil makes me ill. But McDonald's being kind of a grilled product, I don't have any effect with it. That's one of the reasons why I do eat McDonald's, because I don't have any acid reflux effects from it. I mean, it's not healthy for me, I know that, because it's processed food, right? But I've not had any I've had like, since I've been in Japan, I've had McDonald's, what, twice? Actually, no, I've had McDonald's on like the first time I went for McDonald's was in Gyogalga, and then the second time I had McDonald's was in I think it was in Shinjuku, or Shibuya. I've had McDonald's about 3 times since I've been in Japan, and I've been in Japan for almost 2 months now, right? I think I've had KFC 3 times since I've been here. 90% of the food I eat when I'm in Japan is like rice, and I like seafood. I'm in Japan. Rice, fish, a little bit of karage. Yeah, I generally don't have acid reflux on here. Anyway, yeah, I'm rambling at the moment. I should be going to sleep. I'll say good night to you, and the next time I stream is when I give you another update. Bye. Stop stream.